That's all wrong. Restream. Where's the restream? Sorry, guys.
I don't think any of us are offended.
No, I know that. It's I just texted Bruno and be like, "Hey, are we having the live stream tonight?" And he's like, I can't do it." I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'm doing it."
Your mouth was moving, and all I heard was "hurry up and wait."
Pretty much. Did you see my message saying I had to kill it?
Yeah.
Okay. Live stream service. Stop stream. I don't know why it's
Stupid?
being, yeah,
So many-
it's not.
There's so many reasons.
Right. Okay, so I see that. That's good.
Horrible JavaScripting.
Yeah, so it's not connecting to the restream tonight, and I'm not sure why it's not doing it. I'm gonna try this.
It was doing that to Bruno the other day too.
Live stream. Nope, that's restream. Come on. Okay.
And top, grow the beard back out. That looks weird.
I mean,
I agree.
It's streaming. I don't see it on Restream, but it's streaming on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure it's already on the other platforms. So I'm just not going to worry about it.
There are other platforms?
Yeah, so it streams automatically through. Yep. It's on. So it's streaming on Twitch. If it's streaming on Facebook and Twitch, it's going to be streaming on all the other platforms that it needs to be streaming. So I'm not worried about it.
It's not streaming on MySpace.
Okay, Jeremy. MySpace is when you were still dealing with burn pits. Okay.
Okay. Stop with the bullshit burn pit narrative.
I had to say it.
Hate to say it, some of us old fuckers might have actually dug the first burn pits.
I know, it's funny. It's so funny. Okay, now that I have the stream up, I gotta disappear real quick. Close the windows to the house, turn the air back on, and I'll be right back.
He's leaving us in public unsupervised. Oh shit, and he smiled and just walked away. Top, it's on you.
So what were you doing last Labor Day? Same thing?
Yep. I've been out of my house 3 times since February of 2020. You guys talking about COVID, and I've been told, yeah, I'm not supposed to even go outside for fear of COVID.
Yeah.
Damn respiratory issues. Underlying health concerns.
So if they were to lift everything right now, where would you go?
Vegas.
Vegas?
Let's do it.
Because Disneyland and Disney World, been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the photos, don't remember shit. And due to physical inabilities, roller coasters and shit are off limits. So Vegas, used to live there, nowhere to go. Avoid the strip at all possible.
Avoid the strip, but not the strippers.
Oh, hey. They're not strippers. They're entertainers. Don't be an asshole. They got to earn money too. And if you're friendly with them, you might get, you never know. But we're supposed to be family friendly tonight.
What are you talking about? Nobody cares.
All right.
Well,
I'm gonna give my go at the aged dried steaks.
the dried steaks. You're drying steaks.
No,
Nice.
I age dried them for the past 3.5 weeks.
Oh, nice.
So they are now currently on the grill. We're gonna give that a go. See how it turns out.
Okay.
Yep, I can definitely say pulling it out of the fridge and cutting the black off of it. It was like hard and moldy and looked
Weird.
rotten. Yeah,
Weird.
so weird to do that. But
That is really weird.
yeah, I'm actually really excited to get these things on the plate and taste them.
You're like, what am I doing? This
Exactly.
perfectly good meat.
Exactly. Yeah, you do end up kind of throwing away a pretty good amount of, I would say not poundage, but ounces,
Right.
that you have to cut off of it, that it's been dried, been drying.
Couldn't do it, Captain. Just couldn't do it.
Right.
So it's
Blasphemy.
a little weird, but yeah, it should taste just phenomenal. So it should be all worth it.
Otherwise, check the local listing in obituaries.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, somebody come by and water my plants.
Hey, you never know. California is running low on water.
So is Texas.
But I think it's going to be a success. I think I'm going to be all right.
Good.
I did get my at least my party patio finished. Got the lights up and the palm trees in. The wine barrels out there.
Very nice.
So. And now I'm working on the rest of the yard, so we'll see how that goes.
What's
Trying to-
up, Belarus? No, you can't rub your eyes. Can't rub your eyes.
Oh, too bad.
You're like, too bad. Shut up. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm tired, but I'm all right.
Don't be an 18F.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Anthony. Go ahead. I was just saying hey to her.
No worries. She probably has way more to talk about than I do.
other than moldy dried steaks.
Oh, y'all don't want to hear about all this.
That's what we're here for, though.
Oh, this
So
stuff
you
is
can't,
terrible.
You can't say that. Tell you what, I'll have a beer for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know. I woke up without a voice this morning, so it's a little, this afternoon, so it's a little weird, but Been working 12 and 16 hours every day since
Stop that.
Saturday. Today is a 16-hour day, so we'll see.
Dear Lord. I don't miss those.
Mm,
I have a very
it's just
strict.
it's not too bad being just traffic, but I think that people are getting back to normal as far as they are driving because of all the crap they're seeing when they go home,
Yeah.
and then they go back to wherever it is they're staying. By the time they go back, they're so stressed out that they just drive like the lunatics. And we're trying to be decent and not, I guess, compound their stress by writing tickets.
Right.
But there's some stuff that, as an adult, you have to figure out, how to avoid on your own. Like, don't piss off the police while you're driving, because then you force us to write tickets, and we don't want to do that right now.
Right.
What's the electricity situation?
I still don't have lights. They were saying 60 days at first because my house is a block away from the tower that went into the river.
Yes.
But I just got a text message from Entergy that says possibly Wednesday, so that's amazing, actually.
Pretty good. So is there any kind of like sewer backup causing water problems and all that stuff as well?
Not in my neighborhood.
Okay.
In New Orleans, yes, probably in a couple of spots. Definitely, probably in Boutique, LaPlace, the really harder hit areas. They probably have those issues. But
Right.
my neighborhood, our biggest issue was the tower. It carried electricity from the furthest south into Louisiana, and it powered the station that powers 80% of the east side of the river of the parish that I live in. So basically, the guy looked me in my face and said, until we get the river open, we're not worried about your neighborhood. We have everything shut down port-wise going in from New Orleans, and then from Baton Rouge down, nobody can move anything. Railroad tracks are covered in trees. We essentially shut down all the river flow of imports and exports. So they weren't worried about my neighborhood at all. But now that they have the cables dealt with, and it's just rebuilding the 2 towers, then now they can focus on our neighborhood. And we didn't really have a lot of damage, so it shouldn't take them too long to get us back up and running. They just have to divert from one substation to another. We'll see. I mean, I did just replace the roof with, some help, and we did really well because I'm the only one on the street that didn't have any kind of damage. So I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
James will be happy to know he didn't flay his fingers for no reason.
Right.
He'll be fine.
He will be. We just had to coddle him, spoon him to stop him from crying. But we enjoy that anyway. So
I mean, who wouldn't? Coddling and spooning a ginger is always right.
It's a good day. It's a good day when you get to do that.
A good day.
What you gonna do with him?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, my neighborhood's not very big, so we shouldn't be that bad. And like I told the guy that day, I'm not worried about me so much as the people in my neighborhood. We have a lot of elder people in my neighborhood. And a lot of them need a lot of help a lot of assistance. So we were making sure they had food, and the generators that they shipped in, we made sure they got those first. And,
Right.
you know, first responder stuff. I'm just getting tired. Like, I'm mentally, physically, and emotionally just
Yeah.
done. I'm done.
What's the strength of your guys' department right now?
We're only, my department's very small. My new department, like I was in OPD, and
Mhm.
then now I work for Causeway, and we only have 40 people, so it's not. And no, I want to say only about 10% have electricity, but everybody else has generators except for me. And some of the maintenance guys don't have generators either, but I think I'm the only patrol officer that doesn't have one.
But you guys haven't like lost a ton of employees or people quitting.
No, we have a
Oh.
good department. Our department, no one's leaving here, not yet
Oh.
anyway.
That's good. I know a lot of people are struggling. Even the fire departments out here are taking a huge hit. A lot of the law enforcement, but I mean, you know, corporate America itself, whatever. And
Yeah.
some of them are down.
NOPD is.
Yeah.
Now NOPD since I quit has lost about 80 officers, and I quit March 1st. I started here. As of March 1st, they had lost 100 officers. So I'd say now they're probably down to close to 200 officers. And it's because they just don't know how to treat their people. They fucking suck, for lack of a better way to put it. They are out to hang us every chance they get. Even right now, that's why I'm like, I don't know, I'm stressed about it. But like all of my friends that are still there that didn't leave, they're working 12-hour days. They're in the heat when they're at work, and they're in the heat when they're not at work. Half of them haven't been able to even go home to see what their houses look like. They just got power to the hotels that they've been making them stay in because they wouldn't let them leave the city. Because they're just so shorthanded. None of the station houses have electricity. Half of them didn't have running water. They just started being able to do their laundry, so it's been 5 days since they were able to wash clothes. Their families, if they didn't already have it set up, they had to leave because they didn't have anything here. And they were only given, what, a couple days notice? So, I mean, you're talking, and that department right now has 1,100 officers. So you're talking about a lot of people that are very miserable, very disgruntled. Not to mention the day before it made landfall, we buried Briscoe, and what was it, 2-3 days ago, the other one passed away too. And they did the bond hearing for one of the shooters. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. And I'm still so tied to them that everything they're doing and everything they're going through still affects me. And I don't understand why. I think it's because I was there for so long. But last night was the first night I actually got to sleep more than 2.5 hours. And I woke up without a voice for it, so I regret it. So what are you supposed to do with all of this, you know? Like none of us have had time to grieve None of us have even had time to really process everything. I don't know what's going on in Houston with that case. I don't know where his family is, what they're doing. None of us know even if she evacuated well because you want to give them space. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot. I've been thinking a lot over the last couple of days over, like, do I even want to stay in Louisiana anymore? I don't know how many more of these hurricanes I can go through. Mm.
Well, you surpassed
One of
me.
my friends,
I made it to Charlie.
I'm sorry. One of my friends yesterday shared a story with me. So, well, two of them actually, and I'll share them both with you if you want. But while I was there, one of the reasons I left was because I was being targeted by a sergeant who used to be SWAT, and started having a lot of mental issues. And he just didn't just target me, but the part that he did to me is what partially affected my decision to stay or leave. I can't defend or protect everyone else all the time. Sometimes I gotta defend myself first. But so the day after, so I guess it was Tuesday. What is today? Today is Monday.
Right.
Yes.
Monday, Labor Day.
Okay. So then it was Thursday. Thursday they got a shipment of MREs in from the National Guard. And I'll try to shorten it, but not too much so that you don't understand what happened. This sergeant, about a year and a half ago, had to have brain surgery because he started having seizures for no reason. No one understands why he started having seizures. Before this, he was a perfect sergeant, an officer, just tight, stand-up guy, good to go. You couldn't throw anything at him that would shake him. He's a good leader. He had to have brain surgery and it screwed with him. They let him come back to work. We all believed too early. He wasn't ready yet. They took his driving privileges from him and they wouldn't let him carry a weapon. Well, anybody that's ever worked in New Orleans knows that you should not be on the street in a police officer's uniform without a weapon. So
Nope.
another sergeant gave him a weapon, and which isn't, I mean, none of
Yeah.
us disagreed with that.
Yeah.
We all would have done it for him.
Right.
So, because I don't need you to be hiding behind me on a scene that you're fully capable of helping me defend. So there's
Right.
no reason for him to be out there. If you're not going to arm him, leave him at the office.
Yeah.
If not, we're going to arm him so that we have at least somebody we can count on to help defend us. So a year goes by, I quit. He's still there. They actually end up giving him his firearm back and his badge, but he still can't drive because he's still having seizures. Not bad seizures, but seizures. So fast forward to Thursday, they get a shipment of MREs and the lieutenant says, let's get a daisy chain going. We're going to bring all this inside. I know it's hot. Everybody's aggravated. Everybody's tired. Let's get it done. We'll get it done quick. We can all relax after. Half of the people comply, half of the people don't. They're almost done getting them all in. And a detective and the detective sergeant are standing on the deck smoking cigarettes, basically. And Charlie, the sergeant, says, "Hey, why don't you help me?" To the detective, the male detective, he says, "Why don't you go ahead and help us bring these boxes in?" The detective responds, "How about I don't?" And they walk away. Well, I guess this didn't sit well with him. So he goes, after he's done, everybody's finished, and they relax for a minute. He makes sure everybody gets drinks. He calls on the radio to find out where the detective is. Come to find out, he's down the road at the Harris Casino, sitting in the car on a scene or just finished a scene or whatever. So Charlie walks down there. It's about 10 blocks down and 4 blocks up from where the station house is. He walks down there, puts his gun and his radio on the car, calls the detective out of the car, and just starts beating his ass. So they arrest him, give him a summons, take his gun, again, demote him, and commit him for a mental evaluation. I have mixed emotions about this. One, he needed to be evaluated a long time ago, and I feel like NOPD used him for a body instead of getting him the help he needed, and even ignored the recommendations by several of us to do it. And allowed him to put a lot of bad shit in a lot of good officers' jackets in the meantime, which he regretted but couldn't take out once he put it in, and actually gave like written apologies for it. So the fact that he was having mental issues was apparent, very apparent. And now he's locked up in a hospital and possibly going to lose his pension because they didn't do right by him. Then, fast forward to yesterday, they get a call for a wellness check on an old lady that lives in a bad place in New Orleans. It's 200 Carondelet. It's a very bad apartment building, lots of bad problems happening there, murders, shootings, stabbings, rapes. Just it's a very low income housing facility. Drugs constantly, gang problems, just it's a bad location. It's a 24 floor building. It has a generator. As of the day before yesterday, Friday, the generator quit working. It ran out of gas. Saturday, they got the call Saturday. Andy and his partner Pat, Andy's my best friend. Pat was one of my partners when I was there. They have to go 18 floors up because that's where the call is for. That's where the wellness check is. There's no electricity in this building, so there's no air conditioning. There's only 5 windows in the stairwell of this building, so there's no airflow. They climb the 18 floors. They get up there to find 2 old ladies, not just one, but 2 old ladies who have basically congregated together. One lives next door to the other. One's in her 80s, one's in her 70s. The younger one is diabetic and has foot problems. The elder one is the one taking care of the younger one, but the wellness check is for the older one. So now Andy and Pat are trying to figure out how they're supposed to get these 2 old ladies downstairs, which is not, it is and it isn't a police officer's job. Don't get me wrong. But if you knew a hurricane was coming and these people are your family, my opinion, this is your responsibility to take care of. You should have got them out of town to a safe location or to a place where if they did need help, it wouldn't require so much work to get it done. from people who are strapped for equipment and first responders due to the catastrophic level of this hurricane. So that's just me, my personal opinion. Professionally, all of that goes out the fucking window. And now we just have to figure out how to make this work. So they go back down the 18 floors. They call because their cell phones are not working inside this concrete building. They go down, they get with the rank. Rank calls, I guess, the medical board or people. So I don't know who they fucking called, but they called somebody high up on the medical field, and they ended up getting in touch with the owner of the building and getting that number to our captain of my old district. He gets the owner of the building on the phone and says, why is the generator not running in this building? Electrically, it's sound. What's going on? He said, well, I left and I haven't been back to pay for the fuel, and they won't come fill it until I pay for it. There were some words said that I don't know, but Andy said they were very not nice words to this man, and basically told him if he didn't get this building running in the next 12 hours, he's going to be charged with negligent homicide and endangerment for every person in the building, and attempted if none of them were dead already. So as of yesterday morning, 7 a.m., magically there was gas in this generator, and this building is now up and running. This building ended up having 250 elder people in it. This is not an old folks home like it's all over the news. This is just an apartment building.
Right.
This is one of many that they are finding. These officers are seeing shit they don't have to see. They shouldn't have to see. This is stuff that they shouldn't have to deal with.
Yeah.
All because the city government, the city officials have done zero to prepare for shit like this. And this is where we live. This is not the first big hurricane we've been involved in. It's not the second. It's not even the third. We've had many large fucking hurricanes come through here. This city has been given so much money for preparedness to get ready for the next one, and have done shit. Nothing. Nada. Not a goddamn thing have they done to prepare for these hurricanes, and no one holds them accountable. No one. Not the government, the federal government, not the state government. No one comes in and tells these motherfuckers that they have to take care of us or the people in the city. And it infuriates me. And it just, I don't know how to make that any better for them. And they're calling, and all I can do is sit and listen to them, and then I carry it. So I've been offering to call all of them one at a time and offering look, you need clothes washed. If you want to come where I'm at, you can come take a shower, you can come hang out. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but when you're off work, even a 12-hour stint of just sitting with me might help, you know? They're like, I can't leave the city. They won't let us. If we leave, they're going to basically write us up. It's like, what do you do? I can't bring a washer. I'd lug it over there if I could, but I can't. I can't bring a washer and a dryer and a hookup and everything with me because there's nothing to hook it up to. They don't even, and to me, it's simple. If you're going to keep people in a place, make it where if they're stuck there, when you get electricity, at least they can live. Because now they have electricity, but they can't run the air conditioner because it's shorted out because of the water that went into the bottom of the building. Have a washer dryer, have a stove or a kitchen, have something where at least they can be somewhat normal while they're stuck in an abnormal fucking situation.
Yeah. Your story reminds me of the, I don't know if you're aware of the Marine colonel. I think his name is Scheller.
Yeah.
who has basically resigned his commission from the Marine Corps after 17 years,
Mhm.
3 years short of retirement. He's like, keep your
Yep.
retirement. I don't care. But he demanded accountability.
I'm gonna relocate to 2000 Motor Convoy for the vehicle, truck and trailer to get out of two.
And so the story reminded me much of that, but it's the other part of it that I hear is that like you want to give so much, like your service, oriented of being, within the law enforcement side anyway, but it doesn't come from just the job. Like you're not even saying because I'm a police officer, I have to do these things. Like you're just wanting to do them, period. Just one thing I really appreciate, and the reason I brought up Scheller in the first place, Colonel Scheller, was one thing I super appreciated about what he had talked about, or the way he explained it, is that he seemed very cognizant of what he can handle and what he's good. You know what I mean? So the biggest thing I was going to say is that, I love that you're giving service and helping out everybody else, but also make sure you know where you're still present, where you're still good, where you're still part of that equation, and you're not giving yourself up so much that you've lost yourself within that whole piece. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I can't. I have too much of my own stuff to deal with. I have my brother who's in Houston because I have a handicapped brother to take care of. He's in Houston. He's been calling me for the last few days because my dumbass told him he was on a diet before he left. I don't know, 2 weeks before he left, he went to the doctor and they told us that he gained 25 pounds in a month.
Mhm.
He's pre-diabetic. So I told him he couldn't eat bread, that was his diet. He needed to find a supplement. If it was wrapping hamburgers in lettuce or eating, tortillas instead of full-on bread, any little part would help. Well, he took that to the extreme when they evacuated. So he hasn't been eating like he should. He's been calling me, telling me they're not feeding him. When really it's not that they're not feeding him. It's that he's denying himself to eat it because he remembered me telling him that he was not to eat bread. So today I told him, I was like, Billy, you're being evacuated for a hurricane. You're not at home. Eat what the hell you want. Don't not eat because the food that they have is potatoes and bread. Eat. If you're hungry, eat. But that's his disability. He doesn't understand. You put him on a mission and he's there. He goes. So now I feel bad because he's been doing this for a week. He's been hungry. He's been this, he's been that. And it makes me put myself back into place where, my heart is screaming for these people. And these people are not just people. And it's not just from the law enforcement side. These are my brothers and sisters that I stood by for 5.5 years. This is my district. This is, I don't even know how to explain it. This is the people that I have been to battle with. Like, I'm not military, but man, we've been in some hairy situations in New Orleans. I don't know what it's like to be at war, but if it's a whole lot worse than that, I didn't really want any part of that.
You don't
And
have to tip
scared.
around
I
it.
just don't want I'm not
It's
scared.
family.
I would do it. I just don't want the damage that it would do to me, because that did enough. Like, my sense of humanity and people have a sense of humanity is damaged, to say the least. It's definitely just damaged. I don't believe that people outside of us even have a sense of humanity that's worth talking about anymore.
Yeah, I not to cut you off, because I would agree with that. I have a really hard time with even believing that there's people out there other than what I meet in here. that has a value system altogether.
Right. Right.
And that's really difficult to be in. And to be honest with you, it goes as far to say with the kids that my kids hang out with,
Right.
where is their value system? And it's me struggling to teach my kids a value system, or to have
Yeah.
one, period. And we homeschool, and it's not because of that. It's just because that, there's other reasons why we homeschool, but it works
Yeah.
for us, right?
Right.
But even now, even then, it's like working hard. I'd say everybody on this call can say that we appreciate and we understand and we value what it means to work hard.
Mm.
And it's been
Yeah.
a struggle to teach my kids that. They're getting it, they're learning,
Yeah.
but it doesn't help to see their friends outside of the house not being taught that. They're being taught to,
That in itself will work itself out in
yeah,
my experience, because
Yeah.
my children are 19 and 16, and I didn't homeschool. I couldn't. I've been a single mom for 10 years now, so I just couldn't. But my daughter now, all of those lessons, she's 19,
mhm,
all those lessons that I thought they didn't listen to, or that they didn't hear, or maybe I just didn't deliver it correctly, they're coming back now.
Mhm.
And it's not at my timetable, because in my timetable, she'd have been exhibiting what she's exhibit now at 16. But,
Yep.
you know,
and I am starting.
their generation is completely different than ours.
Yeah.
At 15 and 16, I had 2 full-time jobs and was in school. She just got her full-time job for the first time last, I want to say it was November. So there's a delay from
Right.
our generation to theirs.
Yeah.
My son, however, is 16 and he just got hired for his first job
Hmm.
2 days before this hurricane made landfall. He worked 2 days. He made $60 each day in tips, plus in tables at a restaurant, and was so proud and so excited.
That's awesome.
And now the restaurant's destroyed, but whatever. He is me. My daughter is a good mix of my ex-husband and I, but my son is me as a male. I don't know how well that's going to work out in this world, but even though his job is gone, this boy is in his neighborhood and in the next neighborhood, cleaning debris, picking up people's trees, and not being asked to do it. Just from the moment the sun comes up till the sun goes down, this is what he's doing. So what you're teaching your kids will come out. It might not come out when you want it to, but it'll come out.
No, and that's actually what I was about to say, is that this year I've really been able to see that. My son just turned 15 this year, and he's like, the past few months, like, it's been really fun to watch, because he's showing it, he's showing responsibility, he's showing all that, and it just seemed like it was taking longer than what I was hoping. I'm a different person though too, because I grew up in as a 4th generation rancher kid, and growing up on a ranch and growing up in the environment that I'm raising my kids now is very different. So I've had to take a step back too and say, and I'm not detracting from what you were originally. I didn't mean to detract from that, but yeah, I definitely am encouraged that sorry, I had to flash something. Anyways, but yeah, it's been fun to work. Now, my oldest is 15, and I have a 13-year-old. To be 10-year-old. So, anyways, it's fun times. But my 2 teenagers are working on starting their first business already. So that's fun to help.
There you
them
go.
To watch that happen. So
My son wants to go in the Marines. My daughter doesn't know what she wants to do. So we'll see what happens.
The
yeah,
Marines.
But yeah, I know. At first, he wanted to go in the Air Force, which I was behind 100%. I'm behind all of it, whatever he wants to do, whether it be military, non-military, I don't care. I mean, I don't force my wants onto either one of them. I want them to be their own people. They're going to be anyway. Even if I tried to force it, they would
Right.
just fight me anyhow. But I'm proud that they are strong enough to decide for themselves, and I want to support the decisions that they make. So for me, it's not so much telling them what I expect of them. I expect them to make good decisions, sound decisions, and to be able to argue it if they're opposed
yeah,
with logical arguments, not just because that's what I want to do.
right.
So if I can provoke their thought processes, then I feel like I've succeeded. If that makes any sense to anybody but me.
It makes
absolutely.
perfect sense. And from personal experience of dealing with a child that is choosing to join military service, to help them to choose, get online and look up the field exercise for training. There are photos. The photos will help them choose, because the Air Force and how they live in the field versus the Marine Corps and how they live in the field are, what you
Very
see in the
different.
photos, the photos don't lie.
Yeah.
We can all give
Yeah.
our opinions, but photos for the win.
Right. So some of the people that are on this call know my best friend Baker was a Marine, and he died last year in the line of duty. He's a state trooper here, and he was supposed to take my son and go to the range and talk guy stuff, because moms don't know anything about that, So, but he didn't get the opportunity. So another one of my friends, who was also Baker's friend, took that upon himself and did take my son. And that, because he was full on, I want to go in the Air Force, I want to be a mechanical engineer, I want to build fast engines, so that I can design my own fast car. He's very, very much into cars. So the Marine did exactly what I didn't particularly want, I guess. But ever since they went, my son's all about the Marine Corps. So we'll see.
You know what? If that's where he starts, that's a great place to start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not down in any.
Yep.
I'm happy for him to serve. I'm happy for him to stay home and go to college. Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
I think both have a lot to offer him, and I think that his mentality being what it is, that he'll do well in either one. I don't particularly want him to go into the Army, just because I hear nothing but bad from my Army friends about being in the Army, and most of them went from the Army to another branch, and were happy after that.
I was in for a decade. It shit.
But then again, most of my family, my elder family, are all Army. So whichever one he decides, I'm good with. Like I said,
I do
just
believe.
didn't. I'm not military, so I don't know how to guide him.
I do believe it depends on job fields that you go into, and then specifically in the Army that depend on whether it's rewarding or not rewarding. And like I said, it just depends on who's guiding him.
Well, the job he wants, I told him to pick 3 if he was gonna pick, because when he tests, the scores was gonna determine which one he can go to.
Yep.
And I don't see him not testing well. He is very gifted. He's actually in gifted classes. The boy is mathematically genius level. Um, does not get that shit from me. I can promise you. I need every toe and every finger I've got to add. So, and sometimes I borrow other people's, but he is phenomenal, and he's very set on being a mechanical engineer. Although he would like to do weapons as well, maybe design weapons and make bullets go faster, is how he said it, and do more damage when they land. Um, so that the soldiers don't have to get as close is his objective. Um, and then third, which shocked the shit out of me, was psychology. He astonishes me all the time. He said I wouldn't mind going to be a psychologist because then I could help people. So he said he wanted to be able to help people like I do, and I don't do that shit. So
Yeah.
but either way, any of them are good. I'm proud of him for all, any, just for the thought of it, I guess. It makes me feel like I did something right somewhere down the road of raising him. He's a big kid, and he's bigger than me. He thinks he's bigger than me anyway. That's what I heard recently.
I just sent you a message.
Yeah. He stood up next to me, and his sister was sitting down. And he said, Mom, now look up at him, because he is bigger than me, 6 foot tall, and I'm 5'3". And I looked up at him. I said, yes, son. He said, you know, I'm bigger than you now. I said, I hope with everything in me and all the love that I have in my heart that you believe that in your soul, that you're bigger than I am. And he looked at me and said, Mom, you have to look up at me. I said, yes, I do, son. I do. I have to look up at you. But that does not make you bigger than me. And my daughter stood up and she goes, Frankie, if I were you, I'd sit down, and I'd just shut up. And he looked at me, he goes, oh, I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it that way. I said, yeah. I said, well, the day you do, just make sure you have that same confidence you had when you said it. That's all I can tell you. He's a good kid, though.
I sent you a message in the chat whenever you want. It just letting you know it's there. But
Okay.
and if he ever wants to talk to me about that, then let me know, because I can give it. I won't talk about it while we're live streaming, but
No, you're fine. I will.
if he ever wants to message me on Facebook or whatever, absolutely, I can give him. And I have some other thoughts. You know, if he's mathematically inclined, I have some other thoughts that he could go into fields, and it's not so much the job while he's in the Army. It's what he's going to do after the Army, because guess what? The Army is only a certain part of your
Right.
life, right? And
Right.
and my what I've been telling a lot of young people that I am able to come across that are making this decision, I'm able to give them some nuggets that I didn't and a lot of other people didn't have at the time, right? I was just fortunate to stumble in upon the job that I have now, and it set me up for life. So love to pass on some of that wisdom and thoughts to the young people.
He'll talk to you.
All right, I'll be more than happy to talk to him. And hey, guess what? This week is the best week because I'm quarantined since I have COVID.
That's terrible. I'm sorry you're sick.
Yeah, no, we're trying to figure out how we even got it last week.
Yeah, because you said
We have
you're
no-
homeschooled, so it's not the kids.
No, well, actually, it had to have been one of our kids. That's what we were laughing about. It had to have been. So even though we homeschool, we have, and we don't think it came from a homeschool group. It probably came, I think it came from my youngest's gymnastics class or something like that.
Oh,
But-
that sucks.
But like just because we homeschool, we're in a co-op sort of program, and so we like my wife for the advanced kids, my wife tutors. It's not teaching, but it's one day a week, and it's tutoring, and it's essentially assigning them their tasks, because right now at the older stages, part of the curriculum is teaching the kids how to go out and teach themselves how to learn, essentially. And
Right.
I mean, next year my kids will be doing pre-college stuff, so 16, 15 will be doing pre-college stuff. And
That's
It's really-
awesome though.
it's really weird. It's cool, but it's really weird. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm more than
Are
happy.
you okay though? I mean,
Yeah,
how
we're doing-
bad is it for you?
I didn't even know I had COVID. I thought it was a head cold. I stayed home for like 2 days thinking, hey, it's all good. Just a head cold, but I'm gonna stay home because I am feeling poorly. All good. And then like the next day, so like Tuesday, Wednesday, I stayed home. Wednesday or Thursday, I went to work thinking, good. And then I came home that Thursday. We're sitting around. It's been late in the day. Family's gone outside of the house doing all kinds of other stuff. And my son's like, I can't smell or taste my food. And I was like, oh crap. And my daughter had just had a fever, like starting the afternoon. Like
Oh no.
and so I looked at my wife, I was like, let's go. So we went to urgent care. We got the whole family tested. 3 of us out of the 5 tested positive. I was one of the ones that tested positive. I always felt so bad. Like I immediately texted my boss at work and be like, hey, listen,
12:15, 17, north.
I'm just like, full disclosure, like, I'm sorry I'm at work. I was at work today, but here's the deal. I just tested positive for COVID. And he was like, hey, no, everybody was really like
Oh, 10, 12.
positive about it. And I'm like, hey, you have no clue. You can't. So, it was the Delta variant too and everything, but
Oh God.
it's just dumb. But honestly, the symptoms have been mild for my whole family, and my wife's actually high risk. And it's like she ended up tested positive like a couple days later. But it was one of those things like we've been really concerned about her getting COVID, so we've been super careful, like how we're doing things and where we've been, and
Right.
she finally got her second shot, and that actually put her under the weather. Like that she was in bed for a couple days. I actually took off work one day because I was like, hey, my wife's in bed, she can't get out of bed. She physically could not move.
That's terrible.
and so we were really nervous about her getting COVID. Well, she got COVID, but it's actually been because it was like last week, I think. And the shot that her second shot is so fresh, we think that it was really quick to combat the symptoms. Whereas I've had it since April. I've had my second shot since April. So,
Right.
But the whole time I've been able to taste food. I've been able to smell. It's just been awkward. Like to me, it doesn't feel anything more than like either like a sinus and head cold put together, right?
Okay.
Like when you have a sinus
Yeah.
cold or something, like you breathe in and like your whole nasal passage burns. That's the worst
Right.
that's the worst of my symptoms right there. And every now and I would say fatiguing a little faster, but other than that, that's it.
Well, at least that's good. My daughter still doesn't have all of her smell and taste back. But
Steaks.
The Santa, is he slow rolling?
my son hasn't had it, which was weird because they both in the same house. Basically, my ex-husband's whole house is 6 people, and 4 out of 6 got it at the
Honestly,
same time.
yeah, honestly, once one or two has it in the same household, like it's pretty much near impossible for the rest of them to survive not getting it.
Well, my son didn't get it. My son and my ex-husband are the only 2 that did not get it. All of the females in the house got it.
Mm,
And they have since all tested negative, and the 2 Frankies still have tested negative. So
well, that's good.
I don't know how it was possible, but it was.
Man. So yeah, I'll be here all this week. You know,
I will let him know. I can't promise though, because he is fully involved in all of this recovery stuff, and
oh, absolutely.
he's not even taking time to come see me.
It doesn't even have to be this
So-
week. I was just saying, like, I definitely have some. free
No,
time.
yeah,
But if he messages me or whatnot, you know,
I will
private
let him
message
know
and
that.
just kind of tells, gives me his name and then said, hey, I'm joining the army. Do you have any job, MOS ideas? That'll give me enough. I'll know how to respond to him, and instead of looking at my phone and be like, who is this person?
Yeah,
So
but no, he's a good kid. Yeah,
'Cause
I
I can
got it
give
all figured out yet, but he's not obligated to have it figured out yet.
and I
Hell,
Go ahead.
I'm 42 and I still don't have it all figured out yet.
I don't like try to rope everybody into like my MOS. I mean, I actually struggle in my MOS. I just like to give the pros and cons of what's there, and the pro
Hold
of
on.
my, yeah, you're good.
10-9.
The pro of my job, it's been after the army. So
Yeah, I'm sure the skills that you've been able to take out and put
yeah.
to use.
So anywho,
That's what I told him. Don't focus so much on what you'll be missing out while you're gone
yeah,
and doing that, because no matter what branch you go in, you're gonna travel. You're gonna go
Yeah.
do things that you wouldn't be able to do if you stayed here in college. You're gonna learn some
Yeah.
things. You're gonna meet some people. You're socially gonna be forced to learn how to get along with people that you don't see eye to eye with, or that you don't have the same opinion
yeah,
of most things with, because that's who you're gonna have to depend on.
I'm gonna.
And
Yeah.
by the time you get back, you're gonna be so well rounded that the people here are almost gonna seem odd to you because they're very good at one thing and not good at others.
Exactly. So, like, to be honest, like, as much fun as we poke at them and everything, like, Space Force is actually not really a bad route, especially if he's more mathematically inclined, because they need people with that skill that can use their mathematics to do the type of work that they're doing. And it's a new. They're gonna get funding. They're gonna get money, and it'll be another one of those. Any of those jobs that he goes into in the Space Force, it'll be another one of those. It'll be a type of job that when he gets done doing military, whether he sticks it out 20 years or not, he's gonna always have a job.
I think if he goes in, his personality
Yeah,
and the way he gets involved in stuff, I think if he goes in at all, that he'll probably make a career of it because he'll love
Yeah.
it. It depending on the experience he has, I'm sure.
right.
I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of little things that I know nothing about that will influence whether or not he stays, but God willing, he has that his experience is good for the most part, and the parts that aren't good are still favorable, not,
Yeah,
so terrible that he can't handle them.
right.
People are running out of gas left and right. I don't understand why you would get on a 24-mile bridge if you didn't have gas.
I don't know how people can't look at their gas gauge and say like, I have a quarter tank of gas. I know my car can go this far on 1 gallon of gas. I think I should fill up now because I know I'm on a quarter tank. Like that
And
that's what gets me.
Right. I understand at first we had a gas shortage, but we don't have that now. For the most part, most of these gas stations have gas and are open. And yes, there's a line, but you have to wait in line. That's just the way it goes. How do you get on the bridge
Yeah.
that is
No,
24 miles in one direction?
Yeah.
It is literally a 24-mile bridge in one direction.
I know that bridge.
How in the hell do you get on this bridge with less than a quarter of a tank of gas and be like, oh, I'm gonna make it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that maybe that specific bridge. I'm thinking drive on I-10 and you can take that ring road that ends up being that bridge.
No, this is the one that goes across Lake Pontchartrain, the causeway.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it goes from Metairie to Covington.
Yeah.
And this is a man hauling porta johns. It's not like a normal person. This is a man in an industrial. He's not even paying for the gas. So he doesn't have the excuse of, well, I can't afford it. Bitch, you got a credit card that would have went in the machine down there.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And now you're pulled into because not all the lights work right now on the bridge because the hurricane knocked a couple of them out. So now he's pulled into a crossover that has no lights. And he's scared.
Wow.
This is why I lose my brain.
It's sad.
You're a grown ass man. Sit in your truck and shut up.
Take a nap.
That was so bad. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be able to tell the dispatcher that I was scared. Even as a female, I wouldn't be able to tell him that. Like, I'd be like, my dumb ass ran out of gas. I need help.
I had like 2 months, right? Like a month before I got out and a month after I got out, and that I considered being a police officer. Almost it, very, very close. And then I started thinking, and I actually did a ride along with one of my friends in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. We had good chats, good talks about, the force and ins and outs and what it is, being a beat cop and everything. And I was just like one of two things are going to happen. I'm either going to jail because of excessive force or I quit, after a few months because I couldn't take the stupidity of stuff, and I can be a pretty reasonable person, but that day in, day out of seeing that kind of stuff, like I don't think it would have been a good fit for me. I just don't. So.
And you know what? You could be absolutely right, but what we have figured out, us out here, civilians have figured out, is that you guys make the perfect freaking police officers.
Right.
For the most part, because you're very good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to do that from the ones that I've known that were soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a couple of them tell me I would have been a good Marine because I'm an asshole and compartmentalize well. So almost too well. But at the end of the day, none of this affects my everyday life. So all I can do is laugh at him for the most part. Is because like he's scared because he doesn't know what reality is around him, to be honest. He doesn't know that he's safe right there.
Yeah.
It's just dark. It's not like you're in the middle of the hood and you might get robbed for your porta-john. You're sitting in the middle of and I mean, he's directly in the middle. He's at the 12-mile marker. You're sitting in the middle of a concrete bridge that everybody is doing 70 miles an hour past you. Nobody's even going to see you because you're in a completely dark crossover. Like you said, get in your truck and take a nap.
Yeah.
Wait for the guy to come bring you gas. And when he gets there,
Right.
let him use his headlights to put the gas in your car, and then you're on the way.
Yeah.
But he's scared because his anxiety's up because he's not familiar with, I guess, what he's doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, for us, like I'd be like, cool, I'll get to rest. I'm taking that. I'm gonna watch TV, or I'm gonna call my friends, or I don't know. I'd do something.
Yeah.
The best part of my job is the view. I get to see all the sunsets, all the sunrises. The city is quiet to me because all I see is the lights and the skyline.
There's some very nice, I actually love, I've driven that I-10, drive from Jacksonville to all the way to El Paso many a times. And it's that portion right there has never been old. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like you get the glare off of the ocean, but it comes across the trees and everything. And you get some of the glisten from depending on where you are on I-10 from the swamps and everything. It's just, I don't know, it's just really pretty.
It's just pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's just pretty.
That whole drive
And
though,
like,
I-10's nice though. Every part of it.
I mean, like right here, like how because we have 5 people right now. We have a fat crew right now. So each one of us is posted up in we have 7 crossovers. So you pick a crossover, you go sit in it. So right now I'm in the first crossover from Metairie going to Covington. And it's just me sitting in here. So I can see all the stars, I can see the city, I can see the traffic in both directions. I'm fine.
That's really cool.
In here in a little bit, I'm gonna put a movie on and I'm gonna watch the cars go by.
It's cool.
Hopefully we don't have any drunks tonight. We've been very lucky. We've only had 3 or 4 of them. They haven't gotten into wrecks, so we've been able to get them rides home or rides to wherever they were going and let them go.
Right.
Because God knows I'd be drinking my ass off if I lost everything that I had. So how do you I can hold it against him if I really wanted to because he made a stupid decision to drive, but at the same time, he's probably not in his right frame of mind anyway.
Yeah.
So we've been trying not to fuck with these people very much. I'm just saying. All day, I've been waiting to come out here and write tickets. Because yesterday, when I was working, I had one of them. I was driving. I was doing 75. The speed limit on this bridge is 65. I was doing 75. All the cars around me were doing 75, which was fine. I don't care. Right?
Right.
I don't write tickets for anything under 80. That's just me. I think 15 over is a little excessive because if you hit the side of this bridge at 80 miles an hour, you're dead, and every car that comes up behind you is probably going to die as well. If you don't go over the edge, and then you're dead anyway, because I'm not jumping in for anybody that's not first responder, baby, or old man or old woman. So at 15 over, that's my cutoff. I will write you a ticket for that. This jackass comes flying by me at 92. Yeah. And
What a-
gets indignant. And then he gets indignant with me when I pulled him over. He's like, "Oh, I'm going home. I gotta go check on my house. It's off the foundation. I've lost everything. I'm on my way home, and the best thing you have to do is to fuck with me."
You tell him I hadn't started yet.
No. Because, like I said, I might be stressed, but they're very stressed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. My house is good. My car is good. My brother's good. My family's good. Some of these people have lost every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
So I tell him in not so gentle words, calm down, sit down in your car, give me 5 minutes, give me your driver's license, and shut up. Just simply sit down and shut up. Run his license. He's never even so much as had a ticket. So I go back to the car and I tell him, I don't know what's going on with you. I'm sorry you lost your house. I'm sorry you lost all your things. Understand that the speed limit on this bridge is 65. I cannot tell you that you can do over 65, but I can tell you that if you do more than 75, every cop on this bridge is going to write you a ticket.
Yeah.
Everyone. I'm not going to write you this ticket today. I am going to put you in my system. And should any other cop on this bridge pull you over for doing over 75,
We're gonna lay the hammer.
you're going to not only get that ticket, but I'm going to come out and I'm going to make sure you get my ticket as well. So I want you to make sure that you're, one, calm before you get on my bridge, and two, that you understand how your car works.
Yeah.
The pedal on the right is the gas, and the one on the left is the brake. And on your steering wheel, sir, there is what's called cruise control. When you get on my bridge, I want you to set your cruise control. I want you to stay in the right-hand lane, and then I want you to get off my bridge.
Yeah.
If you can't manage that, go around. And
Exactly.
he was like, yes, ma'am. I apologize. I don't need your apology. I don't want your apology. I just want you to get on and off my bridge safely. If
Great.
not, there's going to be consequences. And some of them I have no control over. If you wreck on this bridge, you're more than likely to die than any other place that you can get in the wreck.
Right.
Because every car coming behind you is doing 70 or better. And if they didn't see that you wrecked and they hit you, even if your own wreck didn't kill you, that one might.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I know you lost your house and everything else, but I don't know if your family can deal with losing all their belongings, their house, and their father and husband. So if you can't do it for yourself, do it for them. Now, get in your car. Have a great day. Get the fuck off my bridge. He's like, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And rolled out. But like the principle behind it is, even if you know that we're not trying to fuck with
Right.
y'all, why in the hell would you go past? Not me personally. I don't give a shit about me. Like, I don't mean that the way it sounds, but
Right.
I'm not nobody. You understand? I'm
Yeah.
nobody compared to some of these officers out here. But to go past a patrol unit at anything over than 5 miles over the speed limit is just dumb. It's just dumb. And in certain states, doing 5 miles over is dumb. But to be doing 92 and a 65 and pass me like you didn't even see me,
Yeah.
that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like, I think it's funny because he was so shocked that I pulled him over. It was ridiculous. And then they get further insulted when they see that it's a little small female.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Most of these people are just trying to get either to their shit or home or back with their family.
Yeah.
So for the most part, all of us out here are softies, and we don't want to
Yeah.
mess with their psyche because they're already, I don't know, fragile.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the best word I can use, is that everybody in this area right now is fragile. They're just,
Yeah.
including us somewhat, but like I told them, when we go back to normal and things go back to normal and these people are all right, they need to just we got great big signs at the end of the bridge. Just put up there, game on, good luck, and let it go. Because I'm ready.
Yeah.
I told my sergeant today, I said, are we, because they just put us back in our regular uniforms. We were in our BDUs up until today. I said, so are we back to normal, or are we just in regular uniforms? And he's like, no, Rose, we're just in regular uniforms. I said, damn it. I like to hunt the drunks. They're funny. They're entertaining most of the time. They help the night go by. Because they'll tell you half their life story, dude. And I tend to get the ones that won't blow in my machine, but then they'll sign for me to get blood from them.
That's funny.
It's like, you know what you just did, right? I explained it to you before you did it, but I just want to make sure you understand it. When my paramedics get here, I'm going to know everything you did.
Yeah.
I was just concerned with the alcohol. Now I'm going to know everything.
Oh my God. Because then they get this idea that they're like, well, you're only asking me if I'm drunk, you know? Like, no.
But the law has changed. It doesn't go off of, like, you can blow zeros in my
Yeah.
machine and be impaired, and you're going to jail. You could have just been tired,
Yeah.
but because of your level of impairment, and because I can document it by video and by these tests,
Yeah.
you're going to jail. And
Yeah.
then even if they drop the impairment charge, which they probably won't because they have video proof of it,
Yeah.
still going to cost you upwards of 10 grand to get it to get through it all.
Yeah.
So why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
I actually had a chemical engineer that did it. He tried to claim suicidal thoughts and tendencies. He told me, he said, he let me handcuff him. He said, "Can I jump off the bridge?"
Seriously.
I said, "No." He said, "Come on, let me out the back of the car." I was like, "No." He goes, "For real?"
Wow.
Yeah. He said, "But I want to be the first one to jump off when handcuffs." I said, "Well, okay. You wouldn't be the first. That has already happened. And the outcome absolutely is that you drown, because I don't know the last time you tried to tread water, but the water here isn't always calm. And on this day in particular, it was raining, so the water wasn't calm." I said, "And I don't know how long you can tread water for, but typically you need your hands to do that for longer than a few seconds, and you're handcuffed. So
That's funny.
probably not going to work out for you very well." He's like, "Well, that's okay." No, not letting you out my car. I appreciate it, but no.
That's so funny.
We've had a lot of funny ones. We had one we handcuffed. We were talking to him about what to do with his car and getting the phone number of his wife so that she would come and pick up the car. So we didn't tow it because we don't want to make him spend money he doesn't have to. So if we can get somebody to come pick up his car, that's one cost that you don't have to incur. So he's given us the number, and he like walks off like he's gonna walk down the bridge. And "Where are you going?" He said, "Well, I mean, I figure I just walk." Okay. Let me ask you this before you go out in the roadway. Let me ask you this, because I find myself entertained by a lot of this, and I'm not always quick to run and just grab people, because I want to understand where their thought process is sometimes. And if I have the ability, I will. If I don't, they're gonna put themselves in danger. Absolutely, I go hands on, no problem. But he had to walk all the way across the crossover with the direction he was going, so figured I could talk to him for a second. I said, "So which way are you thinking of going?" I said, "Because we're at the 10-mile marker south. So it's 10 miles in the south direction and 14 miles in the north direction. What marathon are you running today?" He said, "Is it really that long?" I said, "The bridge is 24 miles long, sir." I said, "Yeah, it's pretty much really that long." I said, if you want to jog even, I still want to know what direction you're going in. I'll get behind you and I'll even take the handcuffs off if you like, because I just don't think that you're going to get about halfway before you try to get back in my car, and I'm going to tell you no. You're going to have to finish your marathon. And he looked at me, he goes, "You would tell me no?" I said, "Oh yeah, if you are determined to run one direction or the other, I'm going to help you be healthy, sir. Absolutely. And if you can get to the end without trying to get in my car, I'll let you go after that. I'll even pay for your cab home." He's like, "Really, 10 and 14? I said, "Yeah." He goes, "No, you can open the door. I'll get in the car now." It's like, yeah, I thought that. Because this guy was about 6'2", 6'3". He weighed about 250 pounds. He was not a runner. Let's just say it like that. That's a long ass walk. Even just walking, that's a long walk. There's no shade. There's no trees. It's all concrete. They're crazy. I'm telling you, people that we deal with are crazy.
Yeah.
They chased a honey pot truck, whatever that y'all call them,
Hmm.
a sucker truck, a shit truck. That's what we call them.
Right.
So the guy, this is a bad dude. He robbed a couple, ran home. His mom was gonna call the police on him, so he shot her.
What?
Then he ran out the house, ran down the street. The shit truck was sucking out one of the sewer. I guess there was a clog in the sewer pipe, so he had to pipe down the manhole in the street,
Right.
sucking out whatever was down in there. He jumps in the driver's truck. Now, he had to have done this before, because I don't know how he drove this truck, because he knew how to get it all the way it needed to be. So he rolls off with this truck. He gets on the causeway, and we chase him all the way to Hammond before he bails, and they catch him. The truck is, by the time he got halfway across the causeway, he's doing 45 miles an hour. He's throwing sparks with the hose that's dragging behind the truck. He hit the side of the bridge a couple times, but not enough to hurt anything, just enough to wake him up. I mean, it was terrible. It was funny as hell, but it was terrible. Shit was going everywhere because of the hose. Oh, it was terrible. We have more boring nights than we have exciting nights, but when we have exciting nights, we have really exciting nights.
It's really exciting. Yeah.
He got chased through 4 parishes, I think it was. Started in Orleans, went through Jefferson, St. Tammany, and then Tangi, and caught him in Tangi. He's lucky he got caught. He's lucky it didn't start the other way around, because if it started in Tangi, that man would never saw the daylight again. I don't know.
You guys get a lot of people trying to drag race on the bridge.
No.
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 They pretty
we
much
have
know.
Yeah, we have the reputation of we write tickets and we take people to jail. So even the cops from the surrounding areas won't come and fuck around on this bridge.
Might stay away from that.
Because we have 2 cops. We have 2 patrolmen that have written and arrested a couple of officers. I know that sounds bad, but when you force the issue,
Yep.
you don't have the choice to say, well, I'm a cop, can I have, professional courtesy?
Right.
When you are fucked up like a baseball bat and you get out of your car and do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Man. And you
I don't-
fall down on camera.
I don't care who you are.
It's like, man, yeah, I know who you are, but you're still going to jail. You shouldn't have got out of the car. I didn't do it, but the 2 officers that are here that have done it were absolutely justified. And one of them, he actually ended up getting the same detective twice within a 2-year period because his dumbass thought he could outrun him. Like on foot, not in a car, like on foot. He got
Right.
out and ran. He got out and ran at the foot of the bridge. It's like, dude, your whole wallet is in your car. They picked him up at his house 10 minutes later. Stupid. Like, just stupid. And he was a cop. So he knew.
Hilarious.
They're like a soldier, like, you know. you know not to do certain shit, right?
Right.
You can get away with certain shit. You can't get away with everything. This place is quiet.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be hosting tonight.
How late do you have to stay on
Uh, I'll go at the latest 11:30 if other people get on. But honestly, if nobody gets on in the next 10 minutes, I'll probably call it. I'm beat, tired.
there? Man, you're sick.
Thank you for COVID. Normally I could go until like 1 o'clock, but
Good Lord.
I feel like I've been up for like, yeah, I feel like I've been up for 14 hours and straight, like nonstop, busy. And I've probably only honestly realistically been up for, well, I probably have been up for like 13 hours or whatever, but I did like 3 hours of hard work in the garage, moving things around, and straightening up stuff. And I feel like I've been doing. I feel like I spent like 5 hours doing it. That's how my body feels right now.
I'm sorry you feel bad.
I don't get sick very often. I don't get sick very often either, and that's what I think. That's what, because like, I'm a pretty healthy person for the most part. That's why
Yeah,
it affects me a little more because I am.
yeah, I'm the same way. When I do get sick, I'm big grumpy about it because like
Yeah.
it absolutely interferes with my life.
Yep.
Because it just doesn't happen often enough for me to adapt, I guess.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person that can operate on a little bit of sleep too and go a long ways. So
Right. Thank you.
I think that's what like forcing myself to be disciplined to go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
to get myself back to where I need to be health wise. That's what's probably the hardest for me. So
How are the kids handling it?
kids are doing pretty good. They really are. So I've been building the blacksmith shed in our shop in the back, and that's the business my two oldest kids are doing. They're gonna do blacksmithing. Whether they keep doing it after they get done with school and stuff or not, but they, they'll be able to put some. They'll be able to do some good stuff and sell some stuff, but
Well, that's good.
anyways, they 2 of the days last weekend, like they poured their heart into it, and they did so much. And this is before we even knew that they were dealing with COVID. So when after I found, I knew they said they were feeling poorly. And I was like, well, okay, you guys can just do whatever you need. I just need help with this, with this stuff,
Right.
But, they put the hearts into it. They did a really good job. And then, we found out they had COVID. And I was just like, man, you guys are all stars, because they really are. I mean, at that point, a lot of adults would have given out by then, Yeah, I'm so proud of them.
Well, I'm gonna pray for y'all.
I appreciate it.
Hopefully that you guys can get better and get back to whatever normal is for you guys over there. I know normal has gone away for a while now, so
It's just a
whatever the new normal is.
yeah, it's just a new norm, you know.
So I
There
won't
it
keep
goes.
you.
Oh, you're not keeping me. Like I said, I'm gonna try to whoever. I don't know. I messaged a few people that popped up on Facebook. It's like, well, you know, we'll see where they go.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah, I hope everything goes good. I'm glad your roof got on. That was cool. Those guys. I mean, I really wanted to come down there, and I was trying to do it, but I couldn't. I just started a new job, so
No, you're good.
I couldn't
We
make it
we
down there.
actually had a great time getting to know each other.
Yeah.
I actually ended up having a event where they, I guess, tipped my stress point to the end, and I got to see the
Right.
PTSD, I guess, come out in me. And Mike also had an episode. Between the two of us, we kind of love him to death, though.
Good.
And it was fun. It was absolutely fun to get to see other people like me and to realize that I'm not weird or
Yeah.
broken, I guess, because
Right.
I've always considered myself broken, and I don't now.
Right. Right.
Because y'all are just like me. So I can't be broken if we're all there. I think we're just altered, and there's a lot of shit that goes to that. And I think it says a lot about us and being able to adapt to our environment.
Yep.
And I like that we can help each other.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's where I am with it. I mean, if they ever need anything, I'm there. They know it. You know, I mean, you too, all of us. I
Yep.
think that's why I feel so bad about these people in New Orleans and how nothing's being done pisses me off, because it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't take so much out of people to help.
Yeah.
And then like this happens here, and we're cut off from everything else that's still going on in the world. Like I haven't followed Afghanistan issues since the hurricane made landfall. I couldn't even tell you what's going on over there now. And I was on top of it before that because I don't know, I haven't had time to breathe, much less look at what's going on outside of my own city and state.
Right. Yeah, this has been Patrick, it's been really good for me too. Like I yeah, had my moments. Now it's been really honestly the therapeutic part is just knowing that I can be there for other people. You know, I actually do, not afraid to say it, not afraid to admit it. You know, like I do therapy once a week, and it's something that I had to come to terms that I have to do it. That's what I have to do for me, because that's what my family needs me to do.
Yeah.
And now I can advocate it to other people as well. And I'm happy to help people figure that out and get help if that's what they need too, is to see and hear somebody else, you know, talk about it and know that oh wow, this guy, he seems like he's always got stuff going on, but he's willing to talk about having therapy. He's you know,
right.
himself. So I guess that's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
And
well, I've been going to therapy since I was a kid because of my childhood. So
mm,
therapy is not new to me. I don't I don't have the faith in it that I guess everybody else does.
yeah,
I guess because I've been doing it for so long. Because all they tend to do is try to tell you that you have to take this medicine or that medicine.
right,
And until I started, because I used to, and until I decided that I don't want to take your medications, I don't want that shit in my body.
right,
There are ways to deal with this shit that I don't have to take medicine and be away from myself.
yeah,
So if you can't help me figure out how to do that, then I'm gonna find one that can, because this doesn't work for me. I don't want to forget the skills that I've learned to deal with it. I don't want your pill to do it for me. I want to still be able to do it myself.
right,
And if it gets worse, then yeah, we'll go that route. But you know, I'm not at a point where I can't deal with myself.
yeah,
So it took for me to find an ex-police officer that became a psychiatrist to do that. And so now we talk every 2 weeks.
good,
And
good.
that helps me.
Yep.
And he's really good, and like half of the department sees him. So, and he doesn't report anything back to the department, so no one knows that you call him unless you tell him. You know,
Yeah.
it's absolutely has nothing to do with my job,
Yeah,
and that's the part that I think makes it the best, is because it used to be that if you did that, they would take your gun, they'd take your shield, because, well, shit, you got to be crazy if you're seeing a psychiatrist.
yeah, right, right,
And I still think that if they found out that we were seeing psychiatrists, if some shit went down, they would absolutely try to use that against us. So
yeah,
it's phenomenal that he is the way he is. He doesn't take notes. He doesn't write anything down. There are no records to subpoena. There's, you know what I mean? There's no
Yeah.
nothing. So it is absolutely,
yeah, he understands.
it's
You know, they love it.
absolutely freeing. You can
Yeah.
go in there and actually be honest with him about what you're feeling and what you're doing and
Well,
what's going on.
that's exactly where I'm at now. I guess I did a year and a half of counseling through the VA, and that was really good. I actually had a really good counselor, but you know, it's still VA. Now I'm doing another program called Headstrong, and they're not affiliated with the VA,
Right.
and it's free. And
Right.
it's a great program. I highly recommend it to people. And but the yeah, like you said, like I just don't have to worry. I don't feel like I have to worry about any of those repercussions about anything that I talk about in there. So,
Right.
yeah,
And that's an amazing feeling. Like, this
It's
is an
definitely
amazing
freeing.
feeling.
yeah, definitely free.
Because you can
Well-
go in there and lay everything down, lay it out the way it is, and then you can get
Yeah,
an honest response to tell you if what you're doing is the right thing, or how you can tweak it so that it is more effective, or
yeah. Or get your
You
head out of
know,
your
is
ass.
right. Is it normal that I'm feeling this way, or is something
Right.
fucking wrong? You know, I
Yeah.
think that's the part that I enjoy the most, is that I ask him a lot, is that normal? Am I normal to feel this way about this? And a lot
Yeah.
of the time it's surprising. He says, yeah, that it would be abnormal if you didn't. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people feel that way? You're like, okay, cool. So I'm not a fucking moron.
Well,
But go ahead.
No, I'll just go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, I'm done. I was gonna say, I was gonna let you go.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
get
I'm
off.
gonna I think I'm gonna call it. My wife just texted me, so it's okay.
All right, well, good. Thanks for being here tonight. I was
Yeah.
really excited that y'all were on. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I was able to. No, I think normally I would have been able to get on Monday, but I was like, I'm sick. I'm not doing anything. I don't get on because I've been doing like my normal nights is on Fridays when I host or try to help out hosting.
all right. Well,
Anyways, so it's not always Bruno.
I like Bruno.
Okay.
Bruno's awesome. Well, be safe. Enjoy
Yeah,
your time off as much as you can. I know being sick is sucks, but try. And I hope you get better soon.
definitely on the mend. Yeah, you be safe too. You know, don't get stormed out.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, laters. Bye.
Bye bye.